I'm playing Want Something.
Oh, I don't know him.
He gonna beat you.
That's probably
I don't know that nigga. Yeah, he gonna beat you.
He's my partner.
No, take your 3-point, dog. Get your weird stuff.
You good position.
What's up? What's up? Which game? Which game? Wait, I can't hear you. Let me mute. Yeah. What's up? Yeah, I think LSU gonna win, but I don't know if they're gonna win by 13 and a half. Hey, they say Todd Gurley ain't playing, son. Hey. Todd Gurley ain't playing, son.
He had to be.
Yeah, he not playing. Yeah, they just said. I see it over here too. Yeah, he been playing, but he ain't been doing shit.
Hey, hey, brother. Hey, these DBs is crazy.
No, I don't think they do.
You're right, you bro.
Hey, Flap.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Who that shit? I keep it on.
You gotta play on board, don't you?
That nigga don't want no smoke, man.
Yeah, all that tip drip, biting, bobble the ball.
I always see your name, man. I don't see your name. I'm gonna get back up with you, Wait, don't he was trying to get my hand. Oh, I see your house. I got you. Right now.
Yeah, like they can't play with their own quarterback.
Hey, who ain't in the game? They're doing it. I see the house. I see the home. Who's wrong? He'll be the ASC step.
You say unit standing?
We got units out. Hey, I sent it to you. I sent it to you, huh?
I'll send it to you right now. Yeah.
And we who opened this? Oh, I was waiting on he walked away.
I'm missing reads. I don't know what I'm doing.
Caleb, what's your score, Caleb? Who you playing? You know what this is real tough. Caleb, you see the top line. I played. And you see what South Carolina went down there. We beat the number 3 team in the nation. Y'all got y'all ass beat. They number 3. They were number 3.
Hey, Flap.
Yeah, I think.
As you see it, all right.
Well, we got
I'm already enjoy it, dog. We do.
Texas got
Yeah.
I'm talking about Texas Longhorns. He's a Cougars. Oh, he's a Cougars garbage. Get a ball. Get a ball.
You know what, man?
Where you at? Bishopville? You in Bishopville?
Lake City.
Oh, you don't want to be on That's blowout. I get it. so slow, man. Motherfucker.
I be in Columbia all the time.
Oh, I get shit on some.
I got
That's slow.
agriculture. I know that's
Hey, love, stop all that goddamn crying, man. That man stayed on your name. I beat your ass.
You got that old nigga right, dog. That's good you beat that old nigga ass, because he running from me. If his game was like his mouth, he'd have a hell of a game.
all right. Let me shoot that.
He act like a little boy 14 years old, all that crazy ass cursing and talking and shit. You act like no older man, man. You ought to be sitting in your rocking chair relaxing, old ass nigga. Before you catch your aneurysm, nigga. That's all you gonna catch, your aneurysm. Take the what off? Nigga, you ain't never been to my house. I don't know what you talking about. You ain't never been to my house, nigga. You ain't never been to my house, nigga. I wouldn't let the way your mouth feels, nigga, I would never let you come by my house because you trifling. You're trifling by the way you talk. I ain't about to argue with you over something you don't know nothing about. You too old for that shit, man. Old ass nigga. Old ass nigga. Nigga, you got gray hair on your nuts, nigga. Gray old ass nigga. That nigga, you's an old ass nigga. You ain't got no business. You ain't got no business even looking at a video game that you're getting it for your grandson, nigga. Old ass nigga. Yeah, ain't rock nothing. Oh, you don't rock nothing but a chip, nigga. Old ass nigga. Right. I don't understand what you talking about. What you talking about? Hey, what you talking about, Limo? Oh, you ain't playing me, Limo. I'm playing Want Some. Yeah, don't nobody want to see that shit, nigga. Old ass nigga. What do you think he live in China? What do you think we live in China? They only sell it to him? When you catch a nigga bragging like that, he ain't got a motherfucking thing. When you catch a nigga bragging like that, he ain't got nothing, man. Nigga ain't used to nothing, man. That nigga ain't used to nothing. He just a miserable old ass nigga. That's all he is. That's his line of credit, though. That is his line of credit. That's his line of credit. Right, that nigga ain't got nothing, man. That nigga ain't got nothing. Man, nigga 70 years old ain't gonna even give that nigga no credit, man. He's a liability. Yeah, that nigga's a liability at 70 years old, man. They don't give that nigga no line of credit like that, man. He ain't gonna live long enough to pay it back. Nigga ain't got nothing but that talk. That's it. Right, he ain't got a motherfucking thing, man. Nothing. Man, that man, nigga lie about anything on Facebook, man. You know that. We about to pause the motherfucking thing, nigga, because you ain't got a motherfucking thing. And you ain't worth a nigga time, man. For what? Fuck, we gonna stop our game for, nigga. Right. He a foolish ass old he a foolish old ass man. Yeah, man. Real talk. 70 years old. He sound like a damn fool, man. Right. He a fool, man. He an old fool. He letting the young man buck him up. Nigga ain't laughing with him, nigga laughing at him because he an old fool. Nigga's an old fool, man. That's all he is, man, an old fool, man. Nigga, what's gonna hurt? Ain't nothing gonna hurt us about what you don't have. How we gonna be hurt and you Man, ain't nobody want to hear that dumb ass shit, man. You ain't got nothing, nigga. Cause somebody with something don't talk like that.
He quit already, huh?
Man, get out of here, man. Don't nobody talk like that. I ain't going nowhere. I'm right here, nigga. I'm in the building. Man, look. Earl House garbage, man. That man ain't never, man, get out, man. That man can't beat his way out of a wet paper bag. You need to stop gassing Earl House up. That's what you need to do. He an old ass man. He look like a clown, man. Hanging around with young fellas, man. He hang with niggas your age. You 70 years old and you hang around with niggas 25 and 35. Yeah. Man, that nigga golf, man, that nigga lied because he got a tongue in his mouth, nephew. Yeah. Lying like a dog, man. Right, he ain't, don't no woman want him. Look how he talk. Don't no woman want that old wrinkled ass nigga, man. Yeah, this nigga old and wrinkled, man. Man, nigga ain't got that kind of money, man. That nigga just lied about, he lied because he got a tongue in his mouth. Right. Nigga, you 70 years old, nigga. You went to school before all us. Old ass nigga. You wanna hang around with us because them old niggas don't want you around because they know you straight garbage. You wanna hang around with us because them old niggas don't want you around because they know you straight garbage. Earl, you started on that shit. Right.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got no thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
12 yards there and a first down.
Kansas City Chiefs, first down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept, have to be held, so that the runner can get to the corner and turn it upfield.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
15.
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Pick it up, D. Hey, Ridley. 56, Mike, 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a draw play. This is McCoy. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
56 to Mike.
Mahomes to throw. He finds McCoy. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Mahomes completes it to Hardman. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 28. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offense.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, big brother? Trying to get a game? Go ahead on, send it.
You caught me in the middle of
Yeah? Right.
The NFL and EA Sports brings us to the picks. Crowd loves the orange and black. Short time ago, they were Bengals get set. Kansas City
I got to fix this up.
offense now set to begin this drive. And the interception last time led to the offense.
Oh my God. Hey, it was right there. He got to go.
Can't be everywhere at one time, dog. Oh.
Yeah, I was there. Do you know?
We're pretty, excited about a big place. That's what we have to do. Now, hit or miss with
Oh, nigga, bump killed.
See, I put that screen on his ass.
Yeah, you did.
The kicks away following that. Chiefs offense now set to begin this drive. Good sack up the middle.
Oh, come on.
His defense has been able to utilize it. So maybe come up with something here.
Take it.
2 yards is out. It's 1 down. One of the money rounds remaining.
Uh-oh.
It's inside 10.
sent you an invite for the franchise.
Nah, I ain't fooling with it, dog. No, I don't like it, dog.
You say you don't like it?
Nah, I don't like it.
What's you don't like about it?
Cause you know, say my team is a 49. Time I get okay, somebody else gonna have traded some of my players gone, all kind of stuff, man. Look, and then the ratings, all my guys was 70, and then another guy, all his guys on his team was my people was 70 straight toward the boat. This nigga team was 99. What?
Yeah. Nah. See, this one ain't like that. This is fast. This is saying all the players in the NFL, and you have your team.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, man, you know.
So you may have the Chiefs, but you don't have one player that actually plays on the Chiefs. You have, the team like you want.
Chiefs move the football as we start the second quarter.
That nigga snuck that motherfucker in there, boy.
Oh yeah, I saw you right there.
Hey.
I know it ain't pretty. But it counts.
First down.
But without a doubt, we needed that.
You said what?
Without a doubt, we needed that.
Yeah, you need it.
Bengals drive about to get going.
Okay, Ross. Okay, Ross.
Yeah. Damn, they overthrew him.
Can't overthrow me 90 steps. You gonna throw it?
These offense not set to begin this drive. At least get on the board.
What the fuck? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't no fucking way, man. That nigga shot off and came back up under the ball.
Man.
Wow. All I can see is good one, dog. Give me that. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, got push in his face, man.
Man, that's some bullshit, dog.
Alright, we let him make it last play. It's touchdown now.
Boy, don't show me. Give me that. Oh, yeah, I'm on it. Oh, I got him. Oh, I got him. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they was undergoing him like that. Maybe the wind going into the wind. He still should be able to complete that, though. Fuck, how much wind we hit?
Fuck that. Y'all know. Fuck that.
You having fun, man. You gonna leave the boys out there on the island. Gotta shoot.
Fuck around with them out there on the island. Ain't gonna leave them on the island.
You gotta shoot them.
Give me that. Fucking right. We play defense. We play defense too, baby. Right, I'm gonna leave them out there on the island. That nigga, good thing. That was a good pass. That was a good pass. I gotta say that. I ain't gonna even tripping with that. Possibility. Possibility. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man, come on.
Yeah, you right. Can't be everywhere, baby. Can't be everywhere.
I'm ready to just do another job.
Can't be everywhere, baby. You had the right mind frame. You ain't gotta worry about it. You ain't gotta worry about it. You ain't gotta worry about it. You all right. little head coaching, you know. Don't run it the way it's meant to be ran. Change up on it. Gotta change up.
Create some chaos, mess the timing up.
Got to do that. We ain't gonna trip. First down, we ain't gonna trip. We not gonna trip. It's first down.
Yes, sir.
Had it.
We can't hold it all day. One foot.
Come with the blitz.
Oh, we just playing football. Just got it down. Oh my God. That's what we get for being conservative.
Hey, you know, we trying to do us. We trying to do us too now.
Yeah. To the Browns, man.
Yeah. I'm fighting too, dog. I'm fighting too. That fumble cost me, and then when I did the punt the ball, that cost me. I'd have been right here in this game. I've been right here in the game, baby.
Sound good.
That's the truth. That's the way it went. When you hit the sack quarterback, you fumble, you picked it up, you school. I'm way down in your territory, I didn't punt it. I've been in the building.
Yes, sir.
Got it. We ain't tripping on none of that. Give me that. Oh man, now that's some real bullshit, dog. That's some real bullshit, dog. You know what? It's in the game. It's in the game, baby.
Yes, sir. That's AJ Green. You know, that's the way he's ran the most. Oh, he put the scope before the half, boys. You ain't watching that LSU Florida?
No, I ain't watching. What quarter they in?
Third quarter, they 21-all.
Yeah? My son played wide receiver for them.
LSU?
Yeah, LSU. He playing Lamar Chase.
You said Lamar what?
Lamar Chase.
Okay. You ain't checking him out?
That's my boy, man. I already know what's happening. That's my boy.
Ooh, that's that boy.
Can't catch him, big boy. When it rains, it pours. Fuck.
Let him run it out. Make his cup see it.
What the fuck?
Gotta see the whole field, linebacker. You got too much speaking for the press at a cluster.
Out there like that.
Your ass over there. Come on, son. It's unacceptable. Screen. And we see a little too late.
Man, what the fuck going on here? That's 2 first downs.
Ripping it.
Man, that's 2 first downs, man. Ain't that much stripping in the world, man.
Making the perfect coverage so easy to get it to. Easy overloaded.
Wide open, yeah. Inside offense, dog. I just made some mistakes.
That's what we live on.
I got offense. I just made some mistakes. Just fix it though.
Because we don't want the ball.
There you go.
Give me that. Give me that, baby.
I can see the goddamn thing. This shit.
Get it up, baby. Get it up. Get it up, baby. Get it up. We ain't gonna keep going for it. We ain't gonna keep going for it.
I don't know, man. That's what we're gonna ride it up to.
Right here.
Give them what we want. Show, and then take it away.
We ain't getting nothing away, dog.
Alright. Now we're in the takeaway zone right here. This is where we take stuff away.
That's 3 touchdowns so far. They're looking for a 4th.
Yep.
So good, nephew.
Yeah, we want to take stuff away. We switch like this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a nice looking play though. I'll give you that. Take it away. Take it away. Yes, sir. Field goal ain't gonna help you, man.
It's all right. If I don't get nothing, it surely ain't gonna help.
This is true.
If I don't get nothing, it sure ain't gonna help.
Can't argue with that. All right. He's doing too much, man.
He's doing what his coach asked him to do.
Yeah.
Man, come on, man. Ain't no fucking way, man.
AJ Green, man. I told you I couldn't see the icon last time. I see that dot there. I'm gonna get you. What's up again? Oh yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that.
Had to take what you gave me. Had to take what you gave me.
Till I take it away. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You see what I'm saying?
You take that.
Right. Oh, excuse me. Those they couldn't play on my team carrying that ball like that. You know?
What you mean?
You got the ball just in his hands. Not even tucked away. 25. See how he holding it? And now he took it.
I know how to make him tough. Come on, big boy. I needed you to grab him.
You gotta play with him. Shit, don't let him get you. Clean it out. As long as you can, help him on the way.
That means if I want to run it inside, they're already slow moves are going to ride on this one.
Oh, we got fucked by the phone on this side. Hello? You say what? Okay, close up. Huh? At the door? Oh, okay. I'll help him.
Look at that boy. Dove on my fucking ball, bro. Come on, man. That's fucked up. Dog, I slid, man. This nigga dove on me like that. Ain't nobody hit him when he hit the ground. It came loose.
You'll think that's almost kind of that's gone, isn't it?
Also right there on my chest.
The way the ball bounced. Man, ain't no motherfucking way in the world, man. Oh, that nigga tall. That nigga tall.
It's cold, man. The X Factor is double. You don't double it.
Man, this nigga, yeah, man.
What you want?
So the Bengals in possession of the ball. Right here, get you reset. Just about 3 minutes away. First and 10.
Oh, we threw that ball.
Oh, you ain't give me that fucking ball, man. You see me out here, too.
No doubt. Whatever mistake you go from.
I agree with you, but at some point, somewhere, almost speed racing.
Got two safeties and got two.
Who the fuck was that? Yeah, good game, bro.
We'll finish the next one all the way bell to bell, man.
All right, go ahead, bro. Jay?
You, beautified with...
By Torres early. The one on the judge double play. And now
Hey kids, we're going on an adventure! Remember those days when you stepped outside and the world was your playground? When fresh air meant freedom and excitement and life was simply living. Those days are yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Make each moment count. Live life to the fullest. Make every day an adventure.
hungry? Delicious fried chicken. Get it to go. Road to go.
In New Orleans, this actually scares people. You never know if this flood is going to be the one. But Rubion Elevation Insuring can take your worries away. For 150 years, Rubion has been providing peace of mind for generations of New Orleans homeowners. Before you elevate, call Rubion. We elevate, level, and insure your home. And Rubion has a lifetime warranty on the foundation. Call 504-269-9909 today to protect your home. Rubion takes your worries away.
I think that anybody that's ever worked around asbestos, knowing the health hazard or not knowing the health hazard, should check into this. There's a toll-free number you can call, and they will set you up for free testing. It won't cost you anything but a little time. I got with them early enough that they may have saved my life by getting this early detection done. Check this KRW law firm out. They treated me very well, I know that. If you ever worked around asbestos, you should be checked.
Get ready, y'all. I just didn't pronounce just so I can't talk when I cry. I'm not Rachel McAdams. I want to give it a driving because I don't look like that.
Kelly Clarkson, weekday mornings at 11 on WDSU. You're watching Commitment 2019 Election Night coverage on WDSU.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. We're going to check back in with the governor's race right now. The gubernatorial race is going to be a close one as well, and anticipated. And you can see right there on your screen, 36% of the vote for the incumbent John Bel Edwards, Democrat. 32% of the vote for Republican Eddie Versponey, businessman, and Congressman Ralph Abraham, 30% of the vote.
All right, we're going to check in with reporter Travers Mackel. We know the numbers from the Secretary of State have the race a little bit tighter. We're going to check in with Travers Mackel, who is at the John Bel Edwards campaign with the latest there. Travers.
Still confident, Gina. They're still upstairs. They're still looking at all the numbers coming. They know it's going to be razor thin, but the consensus is that John Bel Edwards, the governor here, LSU just scored a touchdown. That's why you hear a lot of the applause. They do have the LSU football game on. But no election results just yet here. It was just happiness for football, not politics. But they do know it's going to be razor thin. They feel like he can get over that 50% plus one.
Commissioner of Agriculture. And if we could also pull up some of these Senate races. Let's take a look at
whoever would be in the runoff against John Bel. So they are confident. They are watching the numbers. We were told that the governor is not coming down until he either wins outright or he knows that he's in the runoff. But a lot of people here are still very optimistic. They feel like 4 years ago he secured a lot of crossover vote, a lot of Republican vote, and he's doing well in a lot of key Republican areas, they think. So therefore they're very optimistic that this can be over tonight. When we get more news from the governor or his camp, we'll make sure to bring it to you. But a lot of people here upstairs with the governor watching these numbers come in slowly but very closely. Gina, Sulla.
All right, Travers, thank you so much. We're going to go next to Sherman DeSalle, who is keeping a close eye on the Ralph Abraham watch party. Sherman, what's the latest there?
Yeah, not to mimic Travers too much, but there's the same type of feeling here. There's a lot of hurrying up and wait, but they're also cheering for the LSU game. They know that this is going to be a tight race. We were literally...
Food can take...
just need the right tool. With the Craig joinery system, you create perfectly aligned pocket holes with hidden screws, just like the pros, with a drill and a Craig jig to build any wood project. Bookcases, storage systems, picture frames, and much more. Craig offers a 90-day money-back guarantee. Get your Craig jig at CraigTool.com or these and other fine retailers.
Think you need to pay prestige prices for better skin results? Try Olay Regenerist. The rich hydrating cream is formulated with vitamin B.
It looked like Smith-Marset sold a little bit. Yeah. His head snapping back.
Mockingbird.
So, you're seeking my expert opinion? Like, I know more than you?
In this limited area of ocean-themed jewelry, yes.
Girlfriends will put messages in the charm. When their guys were out at sea, they would dissolve the seal in salt water to find the note. Where'd you get it?
In the place where it was being kept by the person who owned it.
Who owned it?
Tiffany Hudson.
You broke into Ryan's house?
It was a spur-of-the-moment thing.
You stole Tiffany's jewelry?
I'm a known ex-felon. It was a misdemeanor, and I'm just saying I'm impressed.
Hate to admit it, but so am I.
I'm impressed too.
It was in a hidden compartment in Tiffany's nightstand with a note.
For your protection, for what? And who's HG?
Tomato. Tell me something. I know that you play all over. You not only are found here most of the time, but you do travel and you play concerts. And I saw that you've worked with Lincoln Center jazz situation. Tell me about some of the exciting things you've done outside of, introducing New Orleans to other parts of the country.
Yeah, almost everything we've gotten, period, has been through the streets. People see us or hear us, and they say, oh, wow, and they want to hear things, know things, and have us over, and it's given us opportunities to travel, and it's amazing because along your travelings, the further you go, you find people that don't speak your language, but everybody understands the music, in one form or another. Maybe they don't understand it as in depth as the next person, but they understand the groove, and they understand the move, and it's just a happy feeling that it gives them, and it's really an honor, and a blessing to be able to spread that, everywhere we go. To go places, and then with the internet, so now, before we get to places, people say, I know you, so it's really, really awesome. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been great talking to you. What a great way to start the day. Your CDs are available here, so when you come down, please make sure and pick one or two of them up.
Yep.
And
they're online at Doreen'sJazz.com. They're also in a few of the stores, a Music Factory and Forever New Orleans. You can pick them up with anything you got. That's worth money.
Thanks for supporting my live music, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.
Escapar la presión del equipo de Florida.
Here, and the one in the back of the lake.
This like its own
Here.
Stories.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are continuing our Campaign 2019 coverage, and we will have some more on the results in just a quick minute, but we want to check in with some of the big stories that we've been following today.
Yeah, one of the very, very big stories that we're following that happened earlier this morning, around 9:12 this morning, with a Hard Rock Hotel construction site partially collapsed. Take a look at some video on your screen right here. This is video of some of the construction workers who were inside of the hotel construction site when that partial collapse happened. Obviously, these people are using, it looks like, a ladder to jump down. That shows you just how many people were inside of that construction site. Earlier, we said that 18 people were transported by ambulance to the hospital. Dozens of people, we said, according to fire department officials, dozens of people showed up to the hospital themselves. So definitely looking in the double digits. We don't have an exact number of exactly who was there, but I mean, a shocking video showing just how many people were inside working when that collapse happened.
Now, those are some of the survivors that got out, and of course, they're still looking for at least 2 workers tonight. That search has been called off at this time, but they are expected to resume things tomorrow. Now, we want to get the latest from Nikki Davidson, who is live at the site with a different viewpoint than we saw from Erica Ferrando a little while ago. Nikki, pardon me. Nikki, what's happening where you are? Well, right here, the streets are still blocked off. It's still very difficult to get around in downtown New Orleans. And as you mentioned, this is a different angle of that building where you can really see that there are still pieces of concrete that are just hanging there. And that's why these roads are still blocked off tonight. Officials are worried that there might be more debris falling from the building. So this is still a very active and dangerous scene in this area. And as you guys mentioned, the search has been called off, but take a look at the building. You can see that there's no light in that area. So that would be very difficult for searchers to be looking for those 2 missing people in those conditions. Now, there are some people in this area that are still under an evacuation order. We do know that there are some condos above the Sanger Theater, and the theater, we are told, does have a little bit of damage possibly from this collapse as well. I was able to talk to the theater, and they said that they have not been able to get back in there. And that is the same case for the people that live in the condos above the theater. We talked to a woman earlier tonight who was not at home during the collapse, but she does have 3 dogs, and they were inside, and rescue crews were able to help her get those out. Here's what she said.
I'm so grateful because we don't know when we can go back to you. So I'm so grateful I have my doggies. Thank you, Captain Nick. It's very nice.
Now, all attention tonight here is really on finding those 2 missing people. And I did talk to somebody out here today that does have a lot of construction experience, and he told me, although he was not related to this project, he did say that had this collapse happened during the week, it likely would have meant that many more people would have been injured, because usually with these construction projects, they're working with a skeleton crew on Saturday. We are going to be out here, and we'll have the latest updates for you, but for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, let's hope that's the case, that there was, in fact, just a skeleton crew in that building. Nikki Davidson reporting for us live downtown. Right now, we're going to send things back over to our political analyst, Clancy Dubos, calling another race.
Yes, we are ready to call Jim Donellan as the winner in the insurance commissioner's race with 85% of the precincts reporting. He's had about a 54, 53, 55% lead all night, and that's been pretty steady. And with this many precincts in, we're ready to call Jim Donellan as the winner in that race. He's the incumbent insurance commissioner, had a very tough challenge, although this is about the vote he gets every year when he runs. So it's a typical race for Jim Donellan. A little bit of a cliffhanger, but a victory nonetheless.
And I understand we've got Greg joining us now to kind of break it down for us, that particular vote.
Yes, once again, this is the map by precinct for the insurance commissioner's race. And once again, when we run it through our model, looking at the precincts that are out versus the precincts that are reporting, look at the demographic characteristics, we have him winning with about 53, 54% of the vote as the night wraps up.
Very much. Let's take a look at some of the races in St. Tammany Parish. Let's take a look first at the sheriff's race, and you can see Randy Smith, the incumbent, with 46%. This is 84% of the precincts reported. Tim Lentz has got 32%. He would be the former Covington police chief. Nick Tranchina, a well-known law enforcement officer there, 22%. Your thoughts on this?
that's looking very much like a runoff at this point. We still got, 27 precincts out. I guess it's possible to change things. So, when someone's that close, but when it's an incumbent, we're seeing a pattern here.
Right?
I'm not going to call it, but I defer to Greg Ligermer.
Okay, how about this one? Pat Brister in some trouble in St. Tammany, or at least, perhaps headed to a runoff. Let's take a look at this. This is 84% reporting in St. Tammany.
That's Covington Mayor Mike Cooper leading incumbent Pat Brister, 48 to 41. That's a little bit of a surprise to a lot of people who have been following that race, but I'm sure if someone's been polling it in the North Shore, they've got more recent information than I had, but I really thought Brister would do better than that. But with 84, again, 27 precincts out, anything can still happen there.
It's interesting, as you said, with the incumbents and how many are sort of on the ropes. Let's take a look now at Jefferson Parish Council.
District 1, Marion Edwards is the winner in that race. I wanted to call that earlier and it just got by me. I apologize. We've been calling a lot of them fast and furious here, but certainly Marion Edwards is the winner there.
Let's take a look at Paul Johnston, District 2, and at this point, 96%.
That's a runoff. Dino Bonanno and Michael O'Brien headed for a runoff. And again, tomorrow morning they both have 0 votes. You never know what can happen in the runoff, but that one is going to a runoff. We can put checks by both Dino Bonanno and Michael O'Brien because they will face each other. With only 3 precincts out, it's not going to change that much.
And could we please pull up District 3, Jefferson Parish District 3, if we get a moment to? And this would be the race that had so very many candidates, 11
also
candidates.
A runoff. Derek Shepard, Byron Lee. Those are the 2 guys we thought would be in the runoff.
It's kind of controversial. I mean, these are some
both of them are controversial figures. Shepard, having been a convicted felon, served about 3 years, almost 3 years in jail. Byron Lee, a former council member. It's going to be really interesting to see how that one shakes up in the runoff. But certainly a runoff there, but only 2 precincts out. Those 2 are going to the runoff.
And just a reminder, in Jefferson Parish District 5, Jennifer Van Rankin handily winning re-election there.
That one a long time ago.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, 9:47 right now. We'll be back with more of our election 2019. All right, and when we come back, Clancy just said we're going to have a projection of the governor's race. Stay with us.
Having an MBA from UNO has set me apart from my colleagues and peers. It has shown that I can handle complex situations. It also shows that I have determination to succeed.
An MBA does stand out, especially in this city. We have a lot of nonprofits and a lot of professionals do not have a master's.
I think the most important thing is that it solidifies your credentials.
Visit UNOMBA.com to learn more about the Executive MBA program. Take control of your future today.
We're Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union, and we see banking from your point of view. From convenient on-the-go access to make the most of today, to the financial tools to help you reach your dreams for tomorrow. Our focus is keeping you moving forward with what matters to you. We're not just your local credit union. We're Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union, and we're here with the financial solutions to help you make memories for a lifetime.
Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Have you been the victim of a bad bundle? If you've experienced any of the following symptoms, you may be suffering from moderate to severe bundle phobia. Help is here. Fiber-fast AT&T Internet and DirecTV with proven reliability is the cure for bad bundles. Call now to get seamless Wi-Fi and live TV with thousands of on-demand titles for $89.99 a month for 1 year. Limited availability may not be in your area. No prescription required. Experience the joy of wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage and the freedom of watching TV on the go. Did you know saving money is a leading cause of happiness? You'll save a total of $40 a month for 1 year when you bundle. That's double your savings when you combine AT&T Internet and DirecTV, rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable. Take your life back. Call now and let an AT&T professional double your savings with our reliable AT&T Internet and DirecTV bundle.
Welcome back, everybody. It is now 9:49. The polls have been closed for almost 2 hours now. The results are pouring in. We've managed to project the winners in a number of key races tonight already.
several of them facing runoffs, many of them winning outright in some contests that I think are pretty surprising to people as they're watching these numbers come in.
Yeah, speaking of that, let's send things over to Karen Swenson along with our political analyst right now.
All right, we are ready to call the governor's race a runoff.
It's a runoff between John Bel Edwards and Eddie Rispone. It's been looking like that for a while. Greg Rigamer, about 10 minutes ago, alluded to it, but we wanted to wait to get a few more precincts in, and we've gotten a lot more in, and the results haven't changed. John Bel Edwards is still at 46%. He may get up to 47, 47.5, but he's not going to get to that magical 50% plus one tonight.
So how does this change the face of the campaign moving forward? We're going to see a whole lot of national dollars coming into Louisiana.
This is a whole different race from what we saw. This becomes a hot race. It's going to be a close race. It's going to be a competitive race. It's going to have national implications. It's going to have enormous money. The voters who were saying the last couple of days, I'm sick of seeing the negative attacks and all the political rhetoric. I'm glad it's over with. It ain't over with. It's just starting.
President Trump may or may not take credit for this tonight. Does he deserve it?
Oh, he will take credit for it.
Does he deserve it?
I think he deserves some of it, but the Republican PACs, the Republican-affiliated political action committees, did a very good job of attacking Edwards in the final 10 days, especially with the ad featuring the woman who was victimized by Johnny Anderson, who was a top aide to Edwards. That was a very compelling ad, and I don't think Edwards answered it strongly enough.
Did he effectively answer it?
He didn't answer it quick enough. I think the ad he put up was pretty good. It wasn't as strong as the ad that attacked, and it took him 3 or 4 or 5 days to get that ad on the air.
All right, 91% of the votes in. Let's turn over to Greg Rigamer, and you are also agreeing that this is going to be a runoff with Edwards and Rispone, correct?
It certainly looks that way. I see that Ascension is pretty much out in that strong Rispone area on that, but clearly it looks as though the governor will be in the runoff. We saw this a little bit earlier, and the continuing returns are substantiating that.
Looking at some of the information from some of the big urban areas that still have votes out, even if you assume that Edwards wins those urban areas with significant margins, it just does not seem to be enough to make up that 4%.
Because some of that vote is already in. It's not like all of the urban vote is out. There are a significant number of African American precincts out. There are also a significant number of white rural precincts where Edwards is doing much worse than he did 4 years ago.
Right, and we may see that 4-point gap shrink a little bit. So, as Clancy said, he could go up to 47, maybe even 48, but
votes out him to get to 50%.
And given that, let's check the pulse of the Edwards campaign and turn it over to Eric and Sheba.
All right, thank you very much. They just had on the screen behind us one of the TV stations here in Baton Rouge calling the same thing we're calling. It'll be an Edwards and Rispone runoff, and you could feel the air let out of the balloon in this room.
Sure, and as Karen mentioned, you have to wonder if President Trump's visit to Louisiana yesterday swayed voters to pick one of those Republican candidates, Rispone or Abraham.
And the other thing from some of the people I've been talking to, some of the supporters of Edwards have been telling me they just can't believe it's Rispone in the runoff because he just was such a dark horse and just came out of nowhere, poured tons of money into this campaign, and went from an unknown to almost a household name.
Sure, and it was interesting that neither one of the Republicans were going to be a clear good runner for Edwards if there were a runoff, and even President Trump, as we mentioned earlier, did not choose to endorse one over the other, which was strange as well.
And I'll be curious to hear some of our analysts talk about, what the race would be like between Edwards and Rispone versus Edwards and Abraham.
Sure, and Rispone, of course, has had some of the more inflammatory ads on television, so we'll see what those ads turn into now as we head into a potential runoff, is what we're calling.
All right, let's go over to Rispone headquarters and Danny Monteverdi.
Well, Eric, we've heard some cheering here tonight, but that's mainly because of the LSU game over my shoulder that's still on. But it looks like folks here tonight are getting the news about this potential runoff, and we've actually got a Eddie Rispone supporter here, State Representative Ray Garofalo. Ray, you had two Republican contenders in this race. What made you go ahead and support Eddie Rispone?
Well, I'm a businessman, and I've known Mr. Rispone for quite some time. He's a businessman as well. And I know when I came into it, I'm pretty much an altruistic kind of guy. I don't like to play with the politics, and Mr. Risponi's a lot the same way. You know, Congressman Abraham's a really good guy. He'd make a very fine governor. But for me, it was more just going with the other guy who's a businessman, and that's kind of what swung me the way that I like.
I've seen all night you've been looking at the computer over there, looking at the numbers, looking at your phone. How are you feeling tonight? It's kind of a razor-thin margin right now between Eddie and between Ralph Abraham. How are you feeling tonight looking at these numbers?
Well, we saw the numbers start surging about a week ago for Eddie Risponi over Congressman Abraham. We always knew that there was a possibility that Governor Edwards could pull it off in the first if he got more than 50%. But those numbers in the polls that I've seen were holding very steady around 45, 46%. But we couldn't calculate turnout. But it appears that turnout tonight has gone in the Republican direction, and that Mr. Risponi is doing very well, and Governor Edwards will not win in the first.
And Eddie Risponi, 70 years old, making his first run for political office, top political office in the state. What do you think has been his success in this race so far?
Well, he's a genuine guy. That's what I'm talking about, altruistic. He's just a genuine guy. When you talk to him, it's like just like you and I are standing here talking right now. He understands the issues. He's had to deal with the issues as the second largest contractor in the state. So when you're talking about hiring employees, he knows that we need a trained workforce. When you're talking about funding the different issues that we have around the state, he's very familiar with that. He was one of the gentlemen that was responsible for the education reform package that we passed in 2012. He educated me as a new legislator coming in that year a tremendous amount about the education system in Louisiana and nationwide, how we were basically bottom of the list and why we had to make the changes.
All right, we'll see how the night turns out, and that's the latest now from the Risponi headquarters. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much, Danny. And now let's take a look at some of the races in St. Tammany Parish. Let's take a look at the St. Tammany Sheriff's race. Randy Smith with 46%. Tim Lentz. We've got the former Covington Police Chief with 32%, 98%. So this is, what do you guys?
Definitely a runoff.
There you go.
And, again, like Ron says, and I've been saying all along, not just tonight, but every election night, when you go from a primary to a runoff, it's a brand new ball game. Both of these guys have 0 votes when they wake up tomorrow morning, and a lot can happen.
It's really
it's a 5-week runoff, not a 4-week runoff.
Interesting to see who Tranchina puts his support behind.
Yep.
All right, and let's take a look at the St. Tammany Parish President race. This was also a close one earlier, and you've got 98%, 48% for Cooper. Pat Brister, the incumbent, 41%.
This looks like a runoff, but, we don't know where those 4 precincts are, and if they're in Covington, it could potentially put Cooper above. I'd like to get 1 or 2 more precincts in before we absolutely say this is a runoff.
Right, because he's close to Covington mayor.
We're holding back on this one. It's real close.
Wow. All right. So at this point, we've got a runoff in the gubernatorial race that we are calling tonight. It is 9:58. We'll be back with more right after this.
It was a Saturday morning. I was headed to the store. While I was sitting at a red light, bam! Someone ran right into the back of me. I knew immediately I was hurt. And although it was a Saturday, I caught Moore's Bark. And just like that, I had a lawyer. I made that one call on a Saturday, and Moore's Bark got me $270,000.
Injured in a car wreck on the weekend? Don't wait until Monday. I have attorneys standing by ready to help you now. One call, that's all.
It's game day, a day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score. Because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never, ever frozen chicken fingers. Craveable cane sauce. Crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, official chicken of the New Orleans Saints. French Quarter Facade just finished our kitchen.
And their work was amazing.
At French Quarter Facade's Kitchen and Bath, we stand by 3 core values. Honestly, we make promises to keep, and we do what we say we're going to do.
Integrity. Our reputation speaks for itself. We make sure the job is done correctly.
Quality. Our work is guaranteed, so we only work with the highest quality materials.
Our criticals ask for more.
French Quarter for you, French Quarter Facade. Just minutes away in Harrington.
Every generation starts with a basket full of promises. The promise of opportunity. A promise of good health. The promise of safe haven. For over 50 years, we at Egan have kept our promises to families just like yours. Because we have families too.
Coverage. The votes are coming in fast and furiously. We have been counting them all night and calling all sorts of races. Let's take a look at the latest numbers for governor. And we have at this point called it a runoff between Governor John Bel Edwards, the incumbent, and conservative Republican Eddie Rispone at 27%. That will be his opponent. And we're going to go right now to Jefferson Parish, where Cynthia Lee Shang is now addressing her supporters. She has been named the next Jefferson Parish president.
We're all behind closed doors and offices out in the public, and we really are trying to figure it out for the right reason. And it is a lot of energy. And when we can deliver those services, that's why we all got into office. So thank you all. I look forward to working with you all. We are going to have fun, and we're going to deliver to the people of Jefferson Parish. And tonight we make history in Jefferson Parish because in a nearly 200-year history, I am the first woman parish president. But what is so cool about that is that I really believe people didn't vote for me because I'm a woman. People voted for me because they thought I was the most qualified. And that is the coolest thing. That is the coolest thing. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your support, for your love. I look forward to serving. And here's to an incredible future of Jefferson Parish. Thank you.
All right, a very short and sweet campaign victory speech from the president-elect of Jefferson Parish, Cynthia Lee Shang, making history tonight. Your thoughts on her speech?
A very gracious speech. I noticed who was standing up on the stage with her. District 4 Councilman in Jefferson Parish, Dominic Impostata, was reelected without opposition. He got full board behind Cynthia Lee Shang. Of course, her family, you're seeing their family, but I saw John Guggenheimer, I think. It looked like John Guggenheimer, although he's probably in the clerk's office. But I saw several. There's Marion Edwards behind her at the screen left with the gray hair behind, looks like Cynthia Lee Shang's mother or aunt. He's the new council member from District 1. And Gretna Police Chief Arthur Lawson was next to Marion Edwards. So she had the support of the political establishment and public officials because she campaigned on the platform of I'm the one who can bring people together and unite to get things done. And you see that on her victory platform.
And she defeated the former Jefferson Parish President John Young. I understand we've got him live. Let's joining there by Paul Murphy. Paul?
He's retired. He's so Murphy. And we are at the John Young Election Watch Party at the Doubletree Hotel in Kenner with the candidate who conceded the race. I guess about 15 to 20 minutes ago. Johnny, talk about the hard-run race and what's some of your thoughts?
Well, we ran a very aggressive, very fact-based, issue-oriented campaign. Reached out to the people, traveled all around Jefferson Parish, brought our ideas about how to create a better, more secure, more prosperous future. At the end of the day, the voters have spoken, and this is America, and you respect the decision of the voters and move on.
And you said in your concession speech to your supporters that you might not have won this race, but you're still going to be here in the community helping to move JP forward?
Correct. I mean, I've lived here all my life. I have 5 sons that I want to be able to come back here and raise my grandchildren here. So I care about this parish, and I want to see it grow and prosper. And, you know, we have some challenges ahead as I talked on the campaign trail. For the first time in our history, we've lost population over the last 2 years. We've lost population to St. Tammany and St. Charles, and we've lost our young people to other cities because they have better economic opportunity. So that's something we need to work on so we don't don't stagnate. That's still a passion of mine.
All right, thank you very much, John Young, on a hard-fought race. Not on the winning side this time. All right, thank you. And that is candidate John Young, who, again, delivered his concession speech a little while ago here. In Cantor, Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
Paul, thank you. And now, of course, you can see on your screen right there that Ralph Abraham is up at the podium. We want to get to him to hear what he has to say.
You have. And again, these wonderful grandchildren behind me, they will hopefully continue the march forward and be involved not only politically, socially, culturally, but in their community. So this is what we want to leave with them, is that lesson of service. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've called Eddie, I've given him my congratulations, and I have endorsed him because we still have one task left, and that's to beat John Bel Edwards. I've said it before, and I'll say it over and over again. The reason Diane and I jumped in this race to begin with is we simply did not like where we were as a state. Dead last in everything. The only way to fix that is to put somebody else in that position. So we're going to march forward November 16th. We're going to be from the Republican standpoint, and hopefully we move in a direction that we all know we can be. I'm looking out among the crowd. You're all my friends. You're all my supporters. Again, just a big thanks. We will continue to serve you in Congress, and we will continue to march forward and do what we know is right and righteous. And again, we'll be at church in the morning with our good pastor and First Lady over there, and I would encourage all of you to do the same. So thank you for coming out. Good night, and God bless you. Thank you.
All right, Ralph Abraham right now giving his concession speech. You just heard it there. He said now the focus is, of course, beating Governor John Bel Edwards.
Right, the two of them, of course, going at Governor Edwards. President Trump making a visit here. Now we're going to see that big national money pouring into the state as Eddie Rispone and John Bel Edwards square off in a runoff. Now there are many other big races that we've been following throughout the night. Some of them are in St. Tammany Parish, and Greg Rigamer, our man with the numbers, is standing by to give us an update on some of the big parish president race as well as the sheriff's race in St. Tammany, which is also a hot one.
Yeah, it's very interesting. While we have only 3 precincts out, the fact of the matter is there have been about 50,000 votes cast in St. Tammany today, but we have not had any information from the 25,000 early votes that were cast. So in other words, we got 50,000 votes showing up with only 3 precincts left outstanding, but another 25 to be counted. That's why I'm saying I believe it's too early to call these 2 critical races solely on election day voting. Early voting is 25,000 votes. We've only had 50,000 votes cast so far.
Greg, how does it happen that we don't see those first slug of early votes? That's usually what we expect to talk to you about for the first hour of our coverage. So how does this happen?
Yeah, we had some great things planned with the early voting, but we haven't been able to get to them because we have not had all the early voting. St. Tammany's out. I have no idea why it would still be out. But like I said, 25,000 votes. So totally there's going to be about 75,000 to 80,000 votes cast, of which 25 we don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's big. So, we want to pull Clancy and Ron into this discussion tonight about St. Tammany and what we're expecting to see. What do you guys think about what we just heard from Greg about those absentee votes not being counted yet?
Well, I don't know why they're not being counted. St. Tammany normally is a parish that you would expect to have its act together, frankly, in terms of getting votes in. And the early votes have been in for a week. And, you know, when you get all these other parishes that can get there, I mean, Joy Gegenheimer had his votes up at like 8:10 p.m. at 8:15, the clerk of court in Jefferson Parish. I'm surprised and to the point of almost shock that St. Tammany doesn't have its early voting numbers up yet, especially when there were so many of them.
And it's hard to figure out why, right?
The classic conundrum, whether it's business or politics, when you don't know what you don't know, we know what we don't know, but we don't know what it says. We don't know that early vote return. And as Greg pointed out again and again, that is a huge chunk. That's a third of the total votes in St. Tammany were cast ahead of time.
And that is why we're not calling a runoff at this point for the St. Tammany Parish President race, right? We've got 98% of the votes from today in, if I understand you correctly, right? With 48%, Mike Cooper, the mayor of Covington, is leading. Pat Brister, the incumbent, they're trailing with 41%. All right, let's take a shift and look at Orleans Parish, some of the state Senate races in Orleans Parish. Let's take a look at State District 3.
This is a runoff for the Senate seat. Let's see, that was vacated by J.P. Morrell, a state senator who was term limited, who is not running for anything right now. But the two leading candidates in that were always Joe Bowie and John Bagneris. And here with 91 out of 98 precincts, 93% reporting, that certainly looks like it is going to a runoff. Now bear in mind, this Senate district touches 3 parishes, Orleans, St. Bernard, and Jefferson. But with all of those with precincts reporting from all of those parishes, it looks like Bowie headed for a runoff. Now this 91st district, this is another one that's vacated by a term-limited incumbent. This is a House seat. This is Walt Leger's seat. We have 79% reporting, and it is really, I think, too close to call to see which. There's going to be a runoff between any two of Robert McKnight, Andy Landry, and Colleen Dinkler.
All right, let's shift gears and look at state representative seat 94, the 94th district.
Stephanie Hilferty this is the lakefront and mid-city of New Orleans, along with Bucktown and New Metairie. It straddles Orleans and Jefferson parishes. Definitely going to a runoff, and clearly between, I think, Hilferty and Tammy Savoie, and with 79% reporting. That's not a big shock, but it will be a wide open race. And what's interesting here is that is traditionally for the last 30 plus years, over 40 years, I think, Ron, more than 40 years, that district has had a Republican representative, and now it's a Democrat-Republican in the runoff. District 97, this is State Representative Joe Bowie's seat. He's not term limited, but he's running for the Senate, as you just heard. He's in the runoff in Senate District 3. Matthew Willard, a newcomer, who is a nephew of former New Orleans City Council member Cynthia Willard Lewis. His first run for public office. When I say he came out of nowhere, Eugene Green had all of the organized political support, and here Matthew Willard is running first with only 8 precincts out, 85%. A really tremendous showing by Matthew Willard. Didn't have a lot of money, just went out and knocked doors and put up signs.
And it looked like that one was a sort of a toss-up as to who would be the opponent, because it was so close at this point.
Speaking of toss-ups, District 98, this is State Representative Neil Abramson's district. He is term limited, not running for anything else. Amy Adotto Frieden, no surprise that she's running first, but look at the race for second place. 76 votes separate Kia Sherman from Ravi Sangisetti, and only another less than 200 votes between Sangisetti and Carlos Zervigon. So clearly Freeman in a runoff, but we're not sure yet who she's in the runoff with. All Democrats in that race. All good candidates.
Let's take another look at the gubernatorial race, and again, we have already called this a runoff, but here are the latest numbers with 96% of the precincts in.
Yep, we have less than 200 precincts out, and probably most of those are Orleans Parish, I would bet. Probably at least half of those are Orleans Parish. And John Edwards still at 46%.
And we've called this at this point, and then you listened to Representative Abraham speak, and he's already endorsed Risponi. Excuse me, spit this out. Your thoughts on that? I mean, now that he's already endorsed him.
Well, that's very important, because you may remember 4 years ago when Edwards was running, the 3 Republicans, David Vitter and Scott Angel and Jay Dorton, went at 2 of the 3 Republicans Republicans that Vitter was running against didn't support him in the runoff, and one of them supported Edwards in the runoff. So the Republican candidates were very divided. Now, what this is telling us is that with Abraham immediately supporting Rispone the way it is, that you're going to have a more united Republican Party and a more united Republican vote than you had 4 years ago. That doesn't mean they necessarily win, but I think they will have a more united party.
Absolutely, and if we could put up that total again, full screen, Edwards has 46% of the vote. Eddie Rispone and Ralph Abraham, between them, have 52% of the vote. That's incredible.
How formidable is this? I mean, this is an uphill battle from in the ball game.
I said this earlier tonight about other races. Tomorrow morning, when Edwards and Rispone wake up, each one has 0 votes going into November 16th. They got to go out and get all the votes they got today, and they got to get some new votes to win this thing.
All right, and we're actually awaiting Rispone right now. You are looking live at his campaign headquarters in Baton Rouge. And again, we are waiting for Eddie Rispone to take the stage and address his crowd and presumably a little bit of his strategy moving forward. He's already got deep pockets, right, individually. I mean, he
doesn't need to go raise money. He's going to let another check for $10 million.
And how deep do you think he'll go? I mean, he said he'd go as deep as it needed to be, but he doesn't have all the Republican money coming in.
Well, he can taste it now. Before, he was coming out of nowhere. Now,
yeah, he was considered a long shot going into this race. So that's, Rispone's showing is really something extraordinary.
It also says, frankly, and I don't mean this to be negative about somebody, but it shows that Abraham was really kind of a weak candidate. For a sitting congressman to lose to somebody who was virtually unknown 6 months ago.
I still remember when we saw his billboards come up in New Orleans. They seemed to be the first ones. And I was thinking, who is this gentleman? Right. And really...
the first thing we had to do was figure out how to pronounce his last name. We ran enough commercials, we got that pretty quickly. But
well, and his tying himself to Donald Trump very early in the campaign may have been a very significant thing for him, making the runoff. And that could put Donald Trump right in the middle of the
Well, so then does this race boil down to a mandate on John Bel Edwards or Trump?
Well, we don't know yet. We have to see the final numbers.
Well, except that historically, Ryan and I were talking about this in the last few days. Historically, our races for governor have been very local. And Republicans in the last few cycles have been trying to nationalize our state races, especially for governor. Talking about issues like Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and issues like immigration, etc. It never worked before. Now the issue is Donald Trump for Eddie Rispone. He came out, as Ron said, his very first commercial and said, Trump, 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 Trump. And that got him out there and got him noticed. And then he started attacking Abraham. He got criticized for that, but it worked. It put him ahead of Abraham. And so now this could be the election that changes things for Louisiana. Going into this runoff, it's going to be a national race now.
Right, because you see, 4 years ago, the race, as extraordinary as it was really a traditional Louisiana personality contest. And the Democrat ultimately won it. But this is becoming a nationalized campaign here. And that's exactly what John Bel Edwards didn't want.
We need to do one more. We need to make a new call. The Secretary of State's race is going to a runoff. This is a bit of a shock. But it's a repeat of what happened when these same two leading candidates faced each other about a year ago. Kyle Ogland and Gwen Collins Greenup. They faced each other in the runoff a year ago. Ogland won easily, but that was a year ago. But they're in the runoff again on November 16th.
And not the only incumbent who's got some formidable opponents lining up behind him right now in runoffs, right? I mean, that's been sort of the one of the takeaways of tonight.
Yeah. Although Ogland, being a Republican, will get the benefit of Rispone to the extent that the Republicans are coalescing, he'll get the benefit of that. So we'll see if Greenup gets the benefit of a coattail effect from John Bel Edwards and whatever Democratic coalescing happens in the runoff.
The one thing I point out is that Louisiana has never elected an African American to a statewide constitutional office yet. So at some point it'll happen.
Yes.
And I'm sure Ms. Greenup is hoping she will be that person.
back to the gubernatorial race, we had Vice President Pence in last week, then President Trump right after him. Are we going to see a lot more of them in the next month?
Yes. Yeah, I think Trump will be down at least once, maybe twice.
Absolutely.
All right.
You'll be calls, commercials, you name it.
But I promise you, we won't see Nancy Pelosi, and we won't see Elizabeth Warren.
We won't see Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama.
10:19 right now. We'll be back with our campaign 2019 coverage.
It's here, the newest, easiest app for everything Southeast Louisiana.
We've got you covered with the latest information.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
There's 2 cars that have stalled.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
We're going to deal with some of these stories this week. Bye.
More stories to uncover. More video to discover.
Learn how to cook with me.
Personalized for you. The all-new WWL-TV app. Download it now.
Please donate to Volunteers of America and support programs helping the most vulnerable right here in Southeast Louisiana. We'll pick up your car, boat, RV, or motorcycle, do all the paperwork, and you can get a great tax deduction. Please call now.
College of Business Administration at the University of New Orleans has a great program. It's known as the Executive Track MBA program.
I chose the MBA program at the University of New Orleans because I wanted to leverage my time and effort. I also understood the quality of the faculty and the curriculum. Staff is very accessible.
I felt, that they were there for the student.
Visit UNOMBA.com to learn more about the Executive MBA program. Take control of your future today.
We're Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union, and we see banking from your point of view. From convenient on-the-go access to make the most of today, to the financial tools to help you reach your dreams for tomorrow. Our focus is keeping you moving forward with what matters to you. We're not just your local credit union. We're Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union, and we're here with the financial solutions to help you make memories for a lifetime.
Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Camille Whitworth. Join us every Wednesday at 6:52 a.m. for Healthy Lifestyles right here on WWL. We'll talk about everything from fitness to wellness, nutrition, and much, much more. It's presented by East Jefferson General Hospital.
Welcome back, everybody. We've also, in addition to our Campaign 2019 coverage, been following some very big breaking news stories throughout the day today. One of those, of course, is the collapse at the Hard Rock Hotel.
We have Erica Brandel that is standing by with another live update. We spoke with the wife of one of the people that you said is reported missing, right, Erica?
That's right. We spoke with the wife of one man who was believed to be missing inside the building, and now there are about a dozen friends and family members. You can see them behind me. They are camping out here for the night, and they say they plan to stay here until they find 49-year-old Anthony Magretta. We spoke with his wife. Apparently, he has 4 grown kids. He has several grandchildren. His wife told me he loves his family. He's really funny, always caring, and she said he actually wasn't even supposed to be in today. Apparently, he got called in, and now she has friends and family surrounding her. People are bringing them food. The Jung Hotel donated a whole thing of coffee to them, and there was actually just a woman just a couple minutes ago who came up to them and said, I know you need help. I don't know what I can do, so here's some money. We don't know how much she gave her, but I know she's just trying to help this family in any way that we can. We know there are still 2 people missing. We know a search and rescue team searched for several hours today and did not find anyone. They had to stop searching tonight. But there was another person that was actually missing earlier today as well, and we did get updates a few hours ago that person was found. They were actually at a hospital, and everyone else who was also at the hospital was reported in stable condition. Obviously, this is still a scary situation out here because the New Orleans Fire Department says that building is still at risk of collapsing, and so that's why they have still blocked off all of these streets. All of the surrounding buildings are evacuated. You can see the Sanger Theater right there, which is also damaged. We don't know the extent of it, but we are told that there might be damage at the top of it at least. So we are staying out here trying to get updates on this situation. Obviously a very heartbroken wife right now. She's trying to stay positive, trying to stay hopeful, but she said she wants people to know who her husband is so that she can get as many prayers as possible, and she says she is just not leaving. She is going to stay out here here until he is found. Reporting live in New Orleans, I'm Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
Erica, thank you so much. It's just really touching and sad to see the family sitting there. That is the truest definition of the word vigil that they're holding tonight as they hope and pray that they can find their loved ones.
And so many people in the surrounding area, businesses, restaurants have stopped by, as you just heard Erica say, offering whatever they can to help out because, of course, obviously a very painful feeling to sit there and wait to hear, hopefully, some news of your loved one. All right, we are still continuing, of course, to follow along with the election results that are coming, and let's send things back over to Karen Swinson.
All right, let's take a look at some of these state house races. We've got a lot of precincts reporting, but really such tight races, it's hard to call at this point.
You know, when you look at statewide, the difference between 30 and 28 in the statewide race is a lot, but when you're looking at only 8 precincts out of, you've got 9 precincts out of 53, that's a lot of precincts, a lot of votes out, and the difference between them, there's only 130 votes between Mandy Landry and Colleen Dackel. So we know this is a runoff, but we don't know which 2 out of those 3 is going to are going to make it. So we're going to come back and visit that one again when we get more votes. Let's go to the next one.
How about 94, state representative?
Yeah, we've already called that, and it looks like it's holding up. Stephanie Helferty running first, Tammy Savoy. The key thing there is it's a Republican versus a Democrat in the runoff. That district has not been represented by a Democrat in over 40 years. So it's going to be an uphill slog for Tammy Savoy, but, you know, everything changes at some point, so we'll see what happens there. This is a bit of a surprise, and a hat tip to Matthew Willard, a young man who came seemingly out of nowhere, but he worked real hard and passed up the guy he looks like he's going to be in a runoff with, Eugene Green, although Ethan Ashley has come on very strong in the closing weeks. We got 8 precincts out there, so I think it's clear that Willard is going to be in the runoff. It looks like Green, but I'd like to see another 4 or 5 precincts in that one before we finally call that one. But definitely Willard in a runoff. And here we know that Amy Adado Freeman is going to be in a runoff. Again, 8 precincts out in that district as well. But with only 76 votes separating Kia Sherman and Ravi Sanjasetti, and another 175 votes for Carlos Erdogan. A lot can still happen there.
All right, let's take a look at the 99 district.
This is a district vacated by State Representative Jimmy Harris, who is not term limited, but he's the new senator in Senate District 4. He ran for that one unopposed. Candace Newell on the cusp of winning it all. So this is an open seat. Everybody here running. I think Adonis Expose qualified once before, but didn't stay in the race. That one looked to be very close, but Newell is very close to winning it all, and we just got to get a few more precincts in. There are 5 precincts out, and she could potentially win it all. She doesn't have quite 50% plus there. She's really just under 50%. Ron, this is your old district. Why don't you call it?
Well, I'm going to call it for Jason Hughes. He has a significant lead over Anthony Jackson, and he is the new representative for District 100. And having served in that position before, I wish him well.
Always gracious. Always gracious.
Call, but it's 100% reporting. One of us to get that one wrong.
Well, it's 10:27, and we are still waiting to hear from Governor John Bell Edwards and Eddie Rispone as they address their respective supporters. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more continuing coverage of Campaign 2019.
Dropping the prices for 72 hours at Mattress Direct. Mattresses starting at just $79. Beautyrest Black price dropped $800. Luxury Queen mattress dropped $300 plus a free box spring. Serta iComfort and Beautyrest floor samples price dropped in half. 72 hours only.
Today, it's not just how much you make that counts. It's how much you keep. At Egan Insurance, protecting your wealth is our major priority. One that comes with a promise that no matter what threatens your wealth, accident, theft, fire, or illness, we'll be there to protect your financial assets, just as we have for more than 60 years. Egan Insurance. How those who've made it, keep it.
It only takes a second to look down at a text. But in that amount of time, you've already traveled this far without looking, which could be a problem for you and them. So the Hyundai Elantra can read your text messages out loud, keeping your eyes where it matters most. The Hyundai Elantra, one of Hyundai's 10 IIHS top safety picks.
Now, get 0% APR for 72 months on both the new 2019 and 2020 Elantra. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Jim, let's roll. When you're on the go in South Louisiana, the First American mobile app is always with you. Now, First American Bank has made account opening simple with online banking, anytime, anywhere.
S'il vous plaît. Merci, monsieur.
And when you're on the go, like me, use the First American mobile app to check accounts, make transfers, deposits, and a whole lot more. Let First American Bank take you where you want to go.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow. Ha! Ha!
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
We are anxiously waiting for the two men who have made it to a runoff in the state of Louisiana for our governor's race, Eddie Rispone and Governor John Bel Edwards, to take the stage and talk about the fact that they're going to be in a runoff. Can't wait to hear what they have to say. However, tonight we've been talking a lot about how this is now going to become a basically national election. Our election experts have been saying over and over again that that's what we're going to see in the next few weeks as we get closer to the general election.
We heard our election experts say that we're going to have more President Trump visit. Of course, we're going to have possibly more Mike Pence visits. Actually, we've already seen President Trump put a tweet up responding to the election saying the governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards, has done a poor job. Now he is in a runoff with the great Republican Eddie Rispone. Thank you, Louisiana. 66% down to 47% after I explained what a bad job the governor was doing, and something Karen mentioned a little bit earlier along with Clancy as well, asking if President Trump was going to take some responsibility and making this happen, and obviously we saw it happen right there.
Right, there's your answer, and this is where the numbers stand right now. 97% of precincts reporting, 46% of the vote went to John Bel Edwards, 28% to Eddie Rispone, and Ralph Abraham at 24%, that's he. He has already said that he fully plans to throw his weight behind Eddie Rispone in order to try and get our governor's seat Republican in the next election. So that's something that we're going to have to wait and see in the next few weeks. And again, I think we're going to see a lot of national money pouring in, and then of course influence from people as high up as President Trump. We do want to check in tonight with Eric Paulson and Sheba Turk, who are at the Governor Edwards campaign headquarters in Baton Rouge, also waiting to hear him speak. Sheba and Eric?
Well, it has been vacant behind us for most of the evening. The only cheers we've had tonight are for the LSU game. LSU beat Florida. It was really a good game. That had a bigger crowd over where the monitor was for the game than over here where the election results were coming in, because when it came out that it's going to be a runoff, there was a pall in this room.
Yeah, the crowd really was not excited about that. They were really focused on the game. And everyone, as you can see behind us, is gathering close to the stage now. Governor Edwards, we're expecting him to come down any moment now to talk about being in this runoff with this podium.
And I had a message from one of the governor's supporters saying he was going to come out any minute, but I assume he was waiting for the end of the LSU game to make sure that the crowd was here instead of over there by the TV.
Sure, it'll be interesting to see his tone tonight, now that he will be in a runoff, and what he has to say moving forward into this runoff.
And especially, there were some fireworks between him and Rispone, between him and Abraham, so, we'll just have to see it. It should be a very interesting race, and I'll be curious to see what both candidates say tonight, as they were talking about on the desk tonight.
Sure, and they both talked about their relationship with President Trump. Rispone really ran a campaign saying that he supported Trump very strongly, and Governor John Bel Edwards has also stressed to voters that he has a good relationship with President Trump. Of course, President Trump was in town yesterday, though, encouraging voters to vote for one of the two Republicans in the race.
And we said this earlier, Eddie Rispone, a very dark horse in this campaign, who came from political obscurity, all of a sudden to, everybody knows him now.
Sure, and he kind of banked on that, also saying that he was a businessman and not a politician, similar to
Trump mode.
Right, similar to what Trump said, which I think is what he ran a lot of his platform on. So it'll be interesting to see how voters take that Trump relationship from each candidate.
Yeah, and when we saw those early votes come in Jefferson Parish, where Edwards had 54% of the vote, there was a lot of happy faces was here when they heard that news. And then when they went to the runoff, when it was a DVD runoff, you could see the air go up the balloon here, as we said earlier. And you wonder how the governor's going to, he's got to put a happy face on this. He's got to put a positive spin on this, because it's going to be a tough race considering all the money that's going to be poured in and the Republican support that Eddie Risconi will have.
Sure, and I think this is a very lackluster night for what people expected to come out for. As we said, much of the excitement was over the game. I was at his watch party, in 2015 for the primary and for the runoff, of course, when he was elected governor back then, and there was just excitement, so much excitement throughout the night and focused on what would happen. Tonight here, it seemed like people kind of were hoping for the best, and when that didn't happen, they're just kind of hanging around and here to speak.
And I'm not sure if Risconi is waiting for Edwards or Edwards waiting for Risconi before either one of them takes the stage tonight.
Sure, and we'll have to see what his message is. Again, he's been hopeful throughout this entire campaign. My guess is he's going to carry that hope through the runoff. That just seems to be his tone in elections.
And I do wonder how much the speech has changed. All right, Eddie Risconi is coming out over at Lavera's. Let's go over to there.
Coming to the stage at the same time that Eddie Risconi is coming to the stage. These two are getting ready to square off in a runoff, and tonight the two of them are starting their campaigns from scratch. This is day one of their new campaign. Eddie Risconi we're expecting to hear from in just a second, and they are introducing Governor John Bel Edwards as well. So here's Eddie Risconi.
LSU did something great tonight too, all right. I would have been out here about 3 minutes sooner, but they had this guy up in Washington, D.C. just called to congratulate us. President Donald Trump is going to help us. He congratulated us. He's going to stay with Louisiana. He's going to make us great like the rest of the country, and he's going to support us. That's wonderful. Let's thank him. Let's go. Well, look, are y'all ready to shake up Louisiana, make it #1 in the South? Well, let me start by thanking my family. They have been so supportive, especially Linda. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask of 7 married, beautiful children and 24 perfect grandchildren. But I'm so blessed, and I have many other family members here that have been stepping up to help us as well. And of course, all of you, your supporters. We could not do it without you. Thank you, thank you. Give yourself an applause and a hand. We have a great team that's worked very hard. I'm not a politician. This is the first time I've ever ran for elected office. But we put together a devoted team that worked very hard, and congratulate them as well. Thank you. And of course, the Almighty God. That's why we're here. We're here to serve the Lord, to do what He asked us to do. We answered His prayers, we answered His requests, and with your prayers, we're going to win. This is just the first step. We're going to be the governor of Louisiana, but we're going to turn this state around. I'd also like to thank Congressman Ralph Abraham. He called me earlier, very graciously said he's behind us, he's going to support us. had to tell him that he worked very, very hard, and Linda and I kept him in our prayers because the man flew himself all over this state working very hard because he wants to see the change as well. Please keep him in your prayers and thank him as well. Thank you, Congressman. It all boils down. If you want different results, you got to elect a different kind of governor. And what do we have? You know, we started our company, Jerry and I started our company 30 years ago, and there was 3 of us in my living room. And you know what now? Today, we employ almost 4,000 families. We founded that company on treating others like we wanted to be treated, and treating everyone with integrity. That's why we're successful. We're going to do the same thing here. You can start with 3 and wind up with 4,000 families. You can turn this state around with the right team, the right attitude, and you can shake up this state and make it great again. Thank you. Let's go do it. Right.
That's it. All right, Eddie. All right, Eddie Rispone right now speaking over in Baton Rouge, right now giving his speech. Obviously, a very excited crowd. Let's go on over to Karen and Clancy to get your thoughts on this.
All right, thanks very much. You heard him mention 2 people getting 2 calls, one from his competitor, one from the president.
Yeah, endorsements from both of them.
Indeed.
As Ron and I mentioned about a half an hour ago, we will see Donald Trump again, no matter what happens with the impeachment.
Well, and you know, Donald Trump won the state by almost 20 points in the 2016 election. So that gives Eddie Rispone a path.
And if you're wondering, if you're just joining us, or perhaps you joined us a little earlier and you saw that both candidates were taking the stage at the same time, as it happened, Mr. Rispone had taken the podium first, and so he had his speech. We're going to air the governor's speech in its entirety as soon as he wraps up. So at this point, we're just sort of analyzing what Rispone had to say, and then we will listen to the governor in his entirety and discuss what he had to say. Your takeaway from what Rispone said?
Well, he knows what he has to do or what he wants to do to win. He started off his campaign saying, I'm Eddie Rispone and I love Donald Trump. I think he's going to go right back to that in the runoff and say Trump, Trump, Trump. And if he didn't hear me before, Trump, Trump, Trump. And Donald Trump's going to come down here and say, this is my guy. And if you, as Ryan pointed out early on tonight, John Bel Edwards maintained, even enlarged his base perhaps in Metro New Orleans, but his rural white support, which is a very Donald Trump vote, and he won 4 years ago before Donald Trump became president, that vote came home, as it were, to the Republican Party and left John Bel Edwards.
Let's talk about the coffers. What are you thinking in terms of, what does Rispone bring to the table, both personally and then with the Republican Party coming behind him, and then what the governor has at his disposal?
Well, the money's going to be virtually unlimited. It's really a matter of... Yeah, well, both sides.
They're both going to have all the money they need.
That's right. It's really a matter of how much they can spend in a 4.5-week campaign.
Okay. And again, we're watching the governor speak. I believe that we're going to let him speak and continue talking with you, and then run his speech in its entirety in a moment.
I would like to add one thing just while we're talking, not about the governor's race. We do have all of the votes in House District 99, which is the lower 9, upper 9, and Bywater. In that race, according to the Secretary of State's returns, there's a runoff between Candace Newell and Adonis Expose, but Newell is only 31 votes shy of getting it outright, or 32 votes of getting a majority. But all the votes are in. I don't know if there's going to be a recount. There may be some military votes that come in, who knows, but based upon 100% reporting, she's just shy of 50% plus 1. So that looks like a runoff between Candace Newell, who's getting about 50%, and Adonis Expose, who's got 40%, and Jamil Shahir, who's got 10%.
Very interesting. And while we're waiting, why don't we take a look at the St. Tammany Parish president race, because that's interesting. We've been just waiting so much for those absentee votes or those early
St. Tammany, I think, is the only parish in the state where they are waiting for all of today's vote to come in, and then they're going to load the absentee absentee votes. All of the other parishes, I don't know why this isn't the case in St. Tammany, but literally all 63 other parishes, their clerk of court loaded the absentee votes early tonight. So Jefferson Parish's absentee vote, I should say early vote, was loaded by 8:15.
Do you think that was a mistake? Do you think that was an oversight?
I don't know if there's some computer reason why they can't do it, or just a policy reason, but
it makes it difficult to predict.
It makes it not predict, it makes it difficult to know. We don't need to predict anymore, we just need to know. They could put that vote out there, and then we could call these races, you know, easily, with only 1 or 2 precincts out, probably. But there are 25,000 votes still out in St. Tammany.
So could we go to bed tonight and not know?
In that parish, yes, we could.
That's interesting.
Well, I go to bed pretty late, but you might go to bed and not know. I'm going to be up until they put that vote in.
Let's take a look at the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's race, too, if we can. Let's pull that up while we're talking about St. Tammany, since it is sort of a wild card with respect to their absentee.
I mean, literally 1/3 of the vote in St. Tammany is out, and it's only because the parish clerk doesn't load the vote.
And this is, yes, please, and this is
It's not like they don't know
anomaly,
what
right?
it is. That vote is known. It's just not released.
And this has never happened before, to your knowledge, as far as you remember.
I don't know that it made that much of a difference before, but it really makes a difference right now.
All right, now we're looking at the sheriff's race, and you've got the incumbent Randy Smith with 47%, Tim Lentz, the police chief, or former police chief of Tim Lentz, Covington, excuse me. So this is something that's really interesting to watch, and we're calling that a runoff, and we're going to be right back with more of our campaign 2019 coverage.
Local weather experts for everything you need to know about Southeast Louisiana weather.
There's areas prone to street flooding. You are likely seeing that out there this morning.
On air and on your phone, no matter where you are, we're here for you. It's the only Who-Dat app you'll need for everything black and gold. Get the latest player news, scores, and stats right at your fingertips. Download the free Flash You Boys app today from First American Bank and Channel 4.
Most people like to know how fast their car goes from 0 to 60. But wouldn't you prefer to know how fast it goes from 60 to 0? The 2019 Volkswagen Tiguan with 6 stability-enhancing features that can help you slow down in an emergency. Come in now to your Volkswagen dealer and lease the sophisticated and